We live? Oh, what is poppin', y'all? Welcome to State of the Gaming Industry. This is episode 30. We did 30 of them things. Feel me? 30 of them.
Perfect.
I'm literally just making noise at this point. But, yeah, so, like I said, episode 30. I'm gonna go through a few things. Not a lot of groundbreaking stuff to go over, but just some cool stuff I did want to talk about. Let me go ahead and post this link on the good old X app real quick. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about. So we got the Helldivers tease of Halo ODST, which a lot of people were saying would be cool if they actually brought that. Before it even got announced it was coming to Xbox, they're like, all right, we need the Halo ODST like crossover. So it looks like that's coming at some point. We got what I'm calling a gaming Fyre Festival. If y'all remember the Fyre Festival from a few years ago with Ja Rule and I forget the dude, the scammer dude, but it was like they was eating like cheese sandwiches and none of the artists actually showed up and all that kind of stuff. We got something similar to talk about, and then a whole bunch of Capcom stuff's related to Resident Evil. So they actually um, what's it called? I think they have a Capcom. I forget what it's called, like Forward or something like that. Basically, where they're going to talk about all their upcoming games. But Capcom got a lot of games coming out in 2026, so we're gonna talk about all of it. I'm gonna just tweet this link out real quick, which I should. Oops, keep forgetting. Anytime I press a number, that's what happens. I should change that hotkey. So gaming industry episode 30. Talking about Helldivers 2, Resident Evil, and yeah. I didn't stream last night for Donkey Kong or any games or anything because I was just honestly I just did not feel like it. Like there's sometimes where you feel like, all right, I don't feel like going to the gym, but I gotta do it. Like, or I don't feel like making content, but I gotta do it. But last night I was just like, it's going to suffer if I do it. Like, force yourself to do so to the point where you end up hating what you're doing. That's I never want to get to that point. So, wait, actually, be right back. Um, so yeah. That's what we're gonna do. It's almost done. Just gotta do these hashtags. Helldivers 2, Resident Evil. I know my keyboard's mad loud. My bad. And I don't know what's another hashtag. Uh, I don't know. Xbox or gaming. That's always a good one. All right. So that's the intro out of the way. What I've been playing recently, y'all seen, I've been streaming Donkey Kong Bonanza. Still working. I got to the sub layer where you gotta pick either you go to like the snow level or I think it's a jungle or something like that. So I went to the snow level just to get some little variety in what I've been looking at. Um, and I just finished that, and I got down to like sub layer 7. So I think I'm gonna go back up, do the jungle one, and then go from there. I don't know if they both meet at the same spot or whatever. Or there's two paths you go down. I'm not sure how that goes, but playing through that. I think Sunday I'm actually gonna stream what's it called? Sea of Stars, the Sea of Stars DLC, the Throws of the Watchmaker, because Sea of Stars was one of my favorite games of this generation, and I was really excited for the DLC, and I just kind of haven't played it that much, so I want to get back into that one. And then, of course, Liza P. Overture. It's not that long. I think 12 hours or so, so definitely want to get back into that. But we could start looking at the weekly game releases. So we got where's Metacritic? All right, so again, this has kind of been the the theme of the summer, but not a lot of stuff coming out. You see right here, I never even heard of it. That's a board game, Dwarfromantic. Never heard of it. I know the big one was these two. So Dragon Drive on the Switch 2, which was that like wheelchair basketball 3-on-3 game, which was I don't know. When we saw this at the showcase or whatever, very confused on what the heck we were looking at there. Zoom out. I think a 60. What did it say? 63? 62 out of with 52 reviews. So obviously not good. And I said before in the previous video, I was like, the Switch 2 has been Nintendo's been piecemealing these games out. So you had Mario Kart at launch, then you had Donkey Kong Bonanza for July, and this is their August game. I don't know what they expected people to really. I'm sure people grabbed it just to see and just to play something, but yeah, it's kind of weak. But September probably get. Um, I'm thinking Metroid's next month, man. I think Metroid's gonna be September. I think what would be October though. I'm not sure actually about that. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see because then you still got Kirby Air Riders. That might be November. Then you got Age of Imprisonment. That could be December or January. So I think Metroid soon. Metroid's either September or October. It ain't going past October. That's for sure. But speaking of Switch 2 though, you got Madden 26, which I saw was on the top. I don't think you could check now, but like it was on. Let me see. Switch 2 eShop charts. I feel like there's no way to check this on. Yeah, there's no way to see it live. Oh wait, maybe you can on Nintendo's website. All right, this is the Euro website, but this is the regular Switch. Is there a way to switch to Switch 2? I don't know. I don't think there's a way to see. But I saw the Madden 26 was pretty high up on there, and that's I don't say too surprising because a lot of people like Madden hasn't been on a Nintendo console in mad long, so for it to be up there is kind of makes sense. And even the deluxe whatever the like $90 or $100 one that was up there too, but there's not a ton of reviews for this. So I got a 72 on PS5, but there's only 72 reviews. This game came out today. There's actually there's not enough reviews on anything else. Xbox and Switch 2, it's only 3 reviews. So where did that 60 come from? I don't know. I said 69 here. Cause nice. Cause there's not enough reviews, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what these yearly games, these simulation games. I don't know what they have to do to do better, but they they're gonna sell regardless. It doesn't matter. But I wonder if like the Switch 2 should have high sales, kind of like what do you call it? Uh, EA, the college football game had high sales because it's like it hasn't been out in a while. So Madden on the Nintendo console hasn't been out in a while. And this was another big game. So Hellblade 2 that came out last year, which a lot of people call walking simulator. I did play it. I think I have the full my full playthrough on the channel actually, so you could check that out. But This is the enhanced version, so it came out on PS5 and Xbox again. But it did slightly better than the original release. The original release was like a 81, I believe, so I got a 83 on PS5. I'm sure it looks great, especially on PS5 Pro. But you see the user reviews 4.3. I don't know why. Let me see. It could be people trolling. Yeah, you can't even see the. It's not even showing the reviews. I guess only one person really. So that could be someone just hating. I don't know. But I'm interested to see what the sales. Crap. Spilled my water bottle. Spilled my water. Luckily, it didn't get on anything electric. That would have been bad. What was I saying? Yeah, so that's all the releases. I'm interested to see the sales. We know Forza Horizon obviously is a whole different ball game. That sold like 3 million, which is crazy on PlayStation alone. So we'll see how that does. Maybe at the end of or at the beginning of next month, but it is halfway through the month, so I don't know how those sales are really going to look. But all right, let's. I mentioned it already, so let's look at the Helldivers 2 trailer, the new one. I feel like this is copyrighted, so I'm gonna just mute that real quick. But this is just that final push, right before a game comes out. You have that trailer, and I think I'm gonna pick it up. The one thing I don't like is it's not Xbox Play Anywhere, which I don't know if we'll ever get an Xbox Play Anywhere PlayStation game. Like that's they might be like, nah, all right, we going multi-platform. The point of us is going multi-platform so we can sell on as many consoles as possible. We not trying to do that Play Anywhere. We don't even do Play Anywhere for our own games. So yeah, I think that was a bit of a hard sell. But a lot of people are excited for this. I haven't played it yet. I'll probably play it on PC, free online and everything like that. It's only $40, and then we get to the end of the trailer here. So you can pre-order now. Comes out August 26th. Then they have the little advertisement. Hey, just so you know, it's on PS5 and PC. And then you get this little teaser at the end with the drop pod. So no one knows if it's going to be you play in ODST, like in that world, or you're just gonna have the character. I forget their names honestly. I haven't played ODST. That was 15 years ago, so I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Or if it's just gonna be you play as the character or whatever. So we'll have to see. But yeah, Helldivers 2 looking good. A lot of people excited for it, so we'll have to see. Um, Speaking of Xbox releases, so Gears of War. So we already know that Gears of War E Day is coming out next year. We got Reloaded drop in on the same day as Helldivers, so that would be an interesting day. But the Gears of War's official Twitter page did update it. So their bio says Reloaded launches August 26th, and then it says Emergence begins 2026. So you can even go on if you go on the official page, you'll see it here. They haven't taken it down yet, so I guess this is official. And even though we know Phil Spencer announced it, a lot of people thought like, okay, 2026 probably makes sense. They revealed it last year. We didn't really see it again this year. I I guess this is like official. 2026 is going to be a big year, especially a big year for not just Xbox but gaming in general. Capcom, I mentioned earlier, you had Onimusha coming out. You got a new Monster Hunter coming out. You got Resident Evil Requiem coming out. So Capcom got a lot coming out. And there's another game coming out in 2026 that was supposed to come out this year that I'm gonna mention. We're gonna talk about it later, but that's just a reassurance that we should be getting it next year. Hopefully, nothing changes. We know Xbox has been canceling a lot of stuff, but either way, I'll be there 100% day one. I might be there day day zero. I might pre-order even though it's on Game Pass. Like I don't know if they got some early access or something. I need a new Gears game. I need that in my life. Um, okay, so speaking of classics, we finally got the announcement, and I don't remember if this was in that little the Switch 2 Direct where it showed the GameCube NSO games, but we did get the announcement that Chibi Robo is finally coming out on August 21st. So next, was that next Wednesday? Oh no, next Thursday actually. And this was big news for a lot of people because you know Chibi Robo GameCube games in particular. So I know a lot of people say GameCube is oh, this was my favorite console growing up and everything like that. It didn't sell that well. It sold like 21 million units. It sold basically the same amount as the original Xbox. So the PS2 just dominated that generation. But this game right now, like I think loose is like 100, complete in box is like 200, and then like sealed is like 300, something like that. Like this is just one of those. I don't know if a lot of people like this game when it came out, but it's one of them like novelty games that just costs a lot of money, and maybe it's fun. I'm not sure. I'm not necessarily like beasting to play it or anything, but it is good that these games are accessible in another way. I know the collectors like spending that bread on the super expensive games. Excuse me, but yeah, I mean that's a lot of money, bro. $300 for that game, and it's not like some highly touted game or anything like that. It's just the cost of it. So it's good to see games like that. Pokemon Coliseum supposed to be coming out soon. Pokemon, what's it called? XD Gale of Darkness. A lot of those games, which are also super duper expensive. Now, I don't know if they're going to have any type of connectivity to the Switch games. I feel like that might be a little too much of a lift for Nintendo to try and do, but either way, still good to be happening. And then speaking of Nintendo, sorry. So we got this. This is a really cool announcement that I saw. So Nintendo's going to be partnering up with ISEA, which stands for, because I didn't know about this thing. I don't know if it's the Interstate Scholastic Esports Alliance. So they're teaming up to bring gaming esports to schools. So believe it or not, like I don't like if you told me about this like when I was in school back in the day, I would have never believed it. Like the gaming and like I don't want to call it the war on gaming, but it was always seen as like kind of counterproductive for kids and stuff like that. But this is a big move by Nintendo. So it says they're partnering with the ISEA to make gaming competitions more social, accessible, and rewarding. So starting this fall, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Smash Ultimate, and Splatoon 3 games for the Switch and Switch OLED model systems will be used for school organized tournaments and events for grades 4 through 12, reaching over 80,000 elementary, middle, and high school students across 23 states. So that's pretty cool. Their statement says, "We're so excited to partner with Nintendo as we continue to grow and expand competitive gaming opportunities for students across the country." That was Danielle Johnson from the She's the ISEA president. Said games are fun. Games are a fun communal experience. We want to make gaming accessible to as many students as possible, regardless of their previous gaming experience. School-based gaming programs connect students that may have not been involved in social competitive activities before, and every student deserves a place to belong at school. These programs not only raise student attendance and achievement, but also help students build healthy relationships that can last a lifetime. So this pretty cool. I think we talk about sports. Let me hit them with the soundboard. Okay, say my soundboard is not working. Um, but nah, it's there we go. But I think that's really good because we know sports and things like that are like kids are playing, but they're playing even when it comes to gaming, they're playing online a lot. This is having people like get excited for coming to school and like get to play together and kind of learn like this is how we used to do, coach couch co-op and things like that, or maybe people that maybe weren't into gaming don't get into it, they'll get their own Switch and then you'll find new friends, you'll start people there are literal people, especially during the pandemic, that like they found each other online and then they met people in real life. They've been gaming together for like 10 years or 20 years without meeting each other and then they literally met over gaming. So I think it's really cool that they're doing this. Nintendo of all people, and it's interesting too because Nintendo's very particular when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like I forget what they shut down some type of charity before. Or they've been shutting down certain tournaments, and esports events, and stuff like that. That's not officially licensed, or they don't want to attach their names to certain events and stuff like that. So it's cool to at least see, something like this coming out of it. So that's pretty cool. Now, what was not cool is the fact that I literally oh no, got it right here. So this was crazy. So I saw it on Twitter and I was looking at the pictures. I was like, bro, what in the world is this? So this says GTA actor says disastrous Florida gaming convention put the con in Comic Con. And there's been a bunch of updates on this, so we'll have to read the original story here. So it says last weekend, a number of gaming fans traveled to Tampa, Florida. It's always Florida. That's all I'm gonna say. It's always Florida where something's going on. But anyway, they traveled to Tampa, Florida to attend the National Gaming Expo, the convention in its first year. See, that's listen. Anything that's in its first year, like you gotta just know some nonsense might happen. So Florida mixed with first year, yeah, it's man, that's kind of scary. So it promised encounters with actors such as the cast of GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Mortal Kombat, as well as former voices behind Peach and Bowser, and Donkey Kong composer Grant Kirkhope, and a lot more. So I'll tell you right now, those games like GTA, or Red Dead Redemption, Mortal Kombat, those are big franchises. So to expect the cast to be there, I mean, it's possible because they get their money from like these appearances and signings and stuff. But again, got to be wary of these things. So instead, they were treated to empty halls, missing talent, and a no-show photographer and camels. And the camels is the main reason I even clicked on this thing when I seen the pictures for the first place. But they were the website. So this was last weekend, August 8th through 10th. It said they claimed they were expecting over 30,000 people, talent signings, photograph opportunities, vendors, cosplay contests. Yeah, man, this is crazy. So this is some tweets from the event. So it says, "This was my first con." So that's the worst part too. This is some people's first time going to anything like this. Like my first type of convention was Anime NYC 2021. If I had went there and this same thing happened, I don't know if I would go back there or go to another thing because I would just be traumatized. But it says this was my first con and didn't what didn't what to expect. I guess didn't know what to expect. But this was definitely not it. Don't support Mike Wittenberg because I was at the National Gaming Expo and it was so awkward and unorganized. So he put up. All right, so you got this is empty. This is, I mean, there's a few people here. Yeah, this is pretty. is pretty empty. But I mean, it doesn't tell the whole story. It just looks empty. But where are the camels at? Uh, Gaming Expo was a disaster. The con floor was empty. Maybe 10 vendors. The only panel that even happened was such a mess. Ned Luke took the MC's job because he was doing such a bad job. They screwed over the other celebs. And now they're deleting their social media. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, we can't tell from this. I can't tell what's going on with this picture. But yeah, they gotta be the worst convention ever produced. All they got is a camel and no games. Yeah, why is there a camel there? I don't even know what this is. There was a sloth there too, so there was a petting zoo. Man, this is crazy. And the guy who ran it, so he formerly ran the National Vape Expo before it was shut down during the pandemic. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, you gotta be able to vet these things, bro. Like, there's so many red flags here. He's actually responded. So it says he responded to complaints around it, saying that the missing actors were entirely the fault of the representative talent agencies, celebrity talent, da da da. Former works fans sued a contract. He apologized for the missing photographer. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, man, that's not good. He reached out to issue a statement regarding its role, saying it canceled its appearance following repeated communication and multiple opportunities for resolution. The agency lost faith in its ability to deliver a professional and viable experience for us. So, sound like a whole bunch of back and forth. I ain't gonna lie, but like I said, bro, there's so many signs where you just gotta know. Like someone just, oh, this are Florida. Sorry, people from Florida, but listen, Florida. Man, you just gotta, yeah, man. Florida, scary. First time doing it, scary. The person who's running it used to run a vape convention. That sounds insane. Why is there a vape convention? I don't know if that's like a business type of thing, but the, everything on the wall said that this thing was going to be not something to actually attend, and now everything's just a whole bunch of going back and forth and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. That's tough, but hopefully everybody will get their money back or something. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. But all right, now let's talk about these rumored Resident Evil releases. So we know Resident Evil Requiem is coming out next year. This is a I don't know if he does Capcom only or Resident Evil stuff. Horror enthusiast. So he just talks about a lot of like horror survival games and stuff like that. So again, take this with a grain of salt. I don't be just believing everything I see, but he seems to be kind of reputable just from the few tweets I was reading. But someone said that the next remake's obviously Resident Evil 1. They'll need to tie in the canon ending. And then he said, I'm assuming it's a he, said that the next remakes are Resident Evil Code Veronica, which a lot of people have been asking for. I actually used to own that on the Dreamcast, but I was too scared to play it back then. And Resident Evil Zero. And they should be releasing in 2027 slash 2028, though I'm unclear this second which is coming out first and which is second. But that's what I'd say to expect. Said this many times over, almost 2 years now, it feels. So he's been saying this for a while. Code Veronica is a lot of people's favorite from what I've been reading. In my mind, I think you would do Resident Evil. Let's see. So you have 4 remake came out 2023. So yeah, I think you would do Zero, and then I don't know. That's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird setup because it's like if you do Zero, but you did 2, 3, and 4 remake. I don't think we'll ever see 5 and 6 because those games just weren't good unless they want to remake them. But I don't know. But speaking of Requiem, though, we did get some news on the kind of style that they're going for Requiem. So it says this is from Insider Gaming, and it says that Resident Evil Requiem will have Last of Us combat and vehicles. So I haven't played every Resident Evil, but I don't believe vehicles are a big thing. Maybe in five. Five looks like it would have vehicles in it. But it says it was recently confirmed that we'll be seeing Resident Evil Requiem gameplay during opening night live and Gamescom, which is next week. So Gamescom is going to be big. And even more recently, notable Resident Evil leaker Dusk Golem, who's the person we were just reading about, so he apparently is very reputable. He took to social media to uncover a series of tidbits regarding the next major release in the legendary franchise. In a series of posts, he claimed that new lighting and shadow engines have been implemented, AI systems unique and intelligent, and some open level areas in Raccoon City will require a vehicle to traverse them. And then we'll feature Last of Us Part 2 combat. So it says right now, officially, they talked about, as you mentioned, the ability to switch between first and third person on the fly, the new lighting and shadows. Additionally, we know that the Stalker uses a new dynamic AI system. A small handful don't understand open level design, along with a vehicle to travel. The combat with Leon has seen huge innovations. Honestly, some Last of Us Part 2 isms, but also its own innovations. So that'll be interesting to see. Again, I'm not the biggest Resident Evil person, like I've said that a million times, but I did like 4. I like the more action, horror stuff. Like they call it like horror survival, but it's like you can make it out. If it's like, oh, you only got 2 bullets and you in the you got to fight your way out and all that, and I'm just like, I could do it. But even like Dead Space was dope. Dead Space was way more scary to me than Resident Evil. Um, but it wasn't as like action oriented. Like, it wasn't kicking and roundhouse kicking and melee and parrying and stuff like that. It was always dark, like all that. But you didn't have any fear that you was gonna run out of ammo or anything like that. So, um, all right. So that's Resident Evil. There's another rumor that this is a short one, but Uncharted 5. So this is from, again, I mentioned vetting people. This is Naughty Dog World. They're like a fan site that says there's a rumor that Uncharted 5 is in development and will feature Cassie as Sam Drake and will be helmed by the co-director of Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, Sean Escaig. So I don't know if that's true. I know a lot of people want this, and no one asked for this. No one wants this. No one will be sad when Naughty Dog goes under. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody be hating on Naughty Dog because of you know Last of Us 2, and then factions getting canceled, and then a lot of people don't like that. What's it? The Intergalactic. What's it called? Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, and the protagonist, and all that. I don't know, bro. Naughty Dog, normally their quality is super high. A lot of people like the Uncharted series, so if 5 ever comes out, that'll be a thing. Excuse me. And I actually went out of order. I meant to do Resident Evil after this because of the remakes conversation, but either way, we're going to go back to some other remakes, and that is Max Payne. So Remedy actually put out a statement. Remedy Entertainment, they provided an update on the upcoming Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes. So for people that don't know, those games were published by Rockstar back in the day. I never got to play them. I was interested in them because of the whole, I forget what it's called, what's it, bullet time or something, where you like slow down like Matrix style or whatever. So definitely interested in the remakes. But it says the studio's accelerating progress at full production speed and working closely with Rockstar as part of their collaboration. So it's seemingly looking like a 2027 release. So the official statement is that Max Payne 1 and 2 remake continues its progress, remains in full production. In the second quarter, the team built on steady momentum from earlier in the year. Collaboration with Rockstar remains close and productive, ensuring alignment as the project advances towards its next major phase. So definitely Listen, sounds good. They get a little Sonic ring from me for that. I've been I've been really. I think I played all the Remedy game. The only Remedy game I haven't finished yet is Alan Wake 2, which I did start a couple weeks ago. I just gotta get back to it. But Control, Crimson, not Crimson. What's the thing called? Quantum Break, Alan Wake 1. So now Max Payne is kind of the only one of their games I haven't played yet, unless there's something I'm missing. But their Remedy does really good work. And yeah, I can't wait to play it. I hope it's good, and I want people to support them, bro, because they've been like their games don't sell that well, like or like it takes them a while to break even. Like their games have a decently long tail to them, where like they'll keep selling for a little bit, so it'll take them a few years. Like I think Alan Wake 2 just broke even this year, and that's like almost 2 years after launching. So, but I mean, they stay in business somehow, and they keep putting out games. But I'll be interested to know how they're going to. They'll have those two games come out. They just put out that FBC Firebreak game, which I don't think did that well because a lot of people ain't talking about it. Actually, I do want to check that. Let's check Steam. I know Steam isn't the end all be all, but it is good to just get a gauge of who's playing certain games, especially since it was online. Let's see, what was the name of it? FBC Firebreak. That game. How do I see the charts? Let's see the charts. How do you see this thing? So it was $40. That's one thing. Here we go. Charts. Dang, all time peak was less than 2,000 people. That's terrible. 24-hour peak, 16 players. 6 players playing right now. Yeah, that's god awful, bro. 65%. Man, that sucks. I hope they didn't pay a lot to make this game. It's in like the Control universe, I believe. So yeah, I don't know, man. That sucks. I hope Remedy deserves a lot better. They're one of my favorite developers. Actually, so that's a hint. So sneak preview in a couple weeks. I'm working on a video for my favorite developers of all time. So look forward to that. But Remedy will definitely be on there. Remedy will definitely be on that list. Okay, last story. This is not a surprise. It shouldn't be. It wasn't a surprise to me. It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. But Crimson Desert got delayed to Q1 next year. So this isn't a surprise though, because this game doesn't look real. Like when Black Myth Wukong was being shown, everyone's like, "Yo, this doesn't look like a real game." This game, even more so, does not look like a real game. Just the amount of things it's trying to do on the screen at once, the amount of elements and type of gameplay. It's like an action adventure, RPG, monster fight. Like, there's just mad stuff going on with this game. So people were expecting it to come out late this year, but hey, I mentioned earlier, 2026 looking really good. But this was from a earnings call. So Pearl Abyss says, before the Q&A session, I would like to first share an update on the development status and release schedule of Crimson Desert, which many of you have been curious about. Pearl Abyss said during their Q2 earnings call. It said currently Crimson Desert has been in the process of voiceovers while also carrying out tasks such as console certification in preparation for its release. So that sounds pretty. That seems like it's pretty far along. I think the voice. I don't know. It depends. Certain games, the voice acting comes a lot earlier. Some, I guess, near the end. But I said it was getting work. They're working on getting certification, so that's pretty close to. That's like going gold or whatever. But it says in the case of marketing, we plan to participate in Gamescom and PAX West this August. So Gamescom's next week, so we should be seeing them over there to showcase the open world build. And in September, they're going to be at Tokyo Game Show to market better in Japan. So it says it's their first large scale AAA game, unavoidably delayed by 1 quarter. So originally it's going to come out Q4 this year, and now it's coming out next year. But it says here multiple partners for offline distribution, voiceovers, console certification, other launch preparation. So it seems, from what they're saying and what it sounds like, it seems like they're doing a lot of. They're almost done. Like I don't think the game is in trouble of getting canceled or pushed a whole another year or something like that. Like they moved it 1 quarter. Like we're almost in Q4 essentially. Like we're in August already. So it was probably going to come out in November sometime around there, which is in 3 months. And they're just working on launching stuff, marketing, voiceover work, which depending on the cutscenes and all that stuff, like the voiceovers could just be as the game is playing and everything like that. So I wouldn't be that worried. But Crimson Desert does look really good. But listen, as of right now, 2026, you got, I say, Crimson Desert, Onimusha, what were we just talking about? Resident Evil 9. You got Gears, E-Day. You got, what's it called? Probably a new Halo. There's a lot of stuff coming out next year. I like them spreading it out. 2024 wasn't too crazy. 2023 was just too much to play. It was too many games to try and play through everything. But yeah. So hopefully this game comes out and it'll do good. But that's all the stories for the week. Appreciate you guys. Definitely check out. I've been streaming gameplay for just playing through games. So Monday night, Wednesday night, Sunday afternoon. So like Monday, Wednesday around 9:45, 10 o'clock. That's kind of the only time I can really get to it. Playing through whatever Donkey Kong, Liza P. I said we're going to do Sea of Stars on Sunday, the DLC. So I haven't gotten too far in that, so I don't have to restart from the beginning. So definitely check that out. All the gameplay streams is on YouTube and TikTok too. So definitely follow TikTok. I've been trying to post a lot more there, get more into their streaming service and everything too. So definitely check that out. Game Life of the State of the Gaming Industry every Thursday night, and then still trying to keep my videos every Monday. Definitely trying to stay consistent with that. So you can expect a video definitely this Monday, definitely Monday after that, and then probably the Monday after that will be that top developers, my favorite developers of all time game video. The video Monday is going to be what do you call it? Hyper realism. So this was going to be a topic for tonight, but now I was like, I'm gonna just do a full video on it. But it was basically around that whole mafia thing, like the whole you can't swim in mafia, and then the dude from Larian kind of responding to that. So I wanted to do a whole video on just the amount of things people want in video games to be super realistic that is going to cost more money or more time, or isn't just like a simple thing, or shouldn't be ruining your experience when it comes to the game and things like that. So I kind of go over a lot of that stuff. But so definitely, like I said, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe so you get that notification bell so you'll know everything I'm saying every time. You'll just get that notification right on your app, right on your phone. So you ain't even got to wait for me to say anything. But yeah, either way, I appreciate y'all coming through. People that's watching on the playback, appreciate y'all too. Like, subscribe.